The next thing I want to review, this one is going to relate to something I'm going to talk to later as well. Um, so there's a pretty low standard of quality, I would say, in Western comics these days. Whether that's in the mainstream or that's in the indie space, there's a few things that really kind of stand out. Like Cyberfrog is great. Um, the um, Vampire Hunter comic I've been reading is really good.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, that kind of thing. So, but there's not a whole lot there. Like, wow, this one is really solid. It's really good. It's a thick, solid, nice, full graphic novel size
Mhm.
book. It's called Terror in the Trenches. It is also by um, the same creator, Von Kloss, as the book I just talked about, Psycho Killers. But different art by Monica McCangy, and that's really where this book caught my attention. It is really in the style of Batman the Animated Series. It is
Sure.
really that kind of look. It is both like it feels really alive, they take the kind of animation sort of principles of things. They're exaggerated, but
Yeah.
whereas Batman animated series is pretty family friendly, and in most regards, this is brutal, um, and it's just the colors pop. It really feels like things could move and come out at you. So I'm a big fan of this art. You might not be excited because this is like post World War II sort of deal, and there's Nazi involvement. I know you're kind of tired of that sort of thing, but it's a
A
very
little,
different take
but
on it.
it looks
And
cool. I mean, like, the art looks
yeah,
amazing, so I would at least give it a shot.
look at this. Like, this person could be like a Harley Quinn in the terms of like
Absolutely.
craziness looking, and it's just so the book looks really good, and it's a good setup. It deals
Mhm.
with kind of super soldier sort of things, but it gets there's a you know a number of people with potential different powers. They introduce a few more in this, and then leave you teased with some villains that are to come with different powers. And yeah, I read this mostly while I was um, on, like, we went to visit family and stuff like that, and at
Mhm.
night when the kids went to sleep and stuff, and it's it handles exposition well. I've been complaining about that a lot in anime and comics and stuff like that. It doesn't. There's nothing that stands out as like, oh, that's ridiculous or whatever. And there is a lot to explain, so they handle all that well in setting up this kind of alternate reality world. Um,
Sure.
yeah, highly recommend Terror in the Trenches. It's a quality book, feels of quality. It's like well bound, it's just it's got this nice kind of photo gallery of other artwork in the back. It comes with this art card and has like I think a sticker too. So
Sure.
um, yeah, Terror in the Trenches Volume 1. It should keep going. So I don't know if you can I don't know that you can pick it up now, but that the campaign is done. But again, it's another thing. Follow Terror in the Trenches, look for Von Kloss or whatever if you're interested. And you know, 2 will be coming at some point. Sign up for that. Pick up the first one too. Um, yeah. What do you think?
Yeah,
Terror in
that
Trenches. Does that
that
look cool?
yeah, that seems like one I'd be interested in. I mean, title alone I like, but I really like that art style.
Yeah.
So
It's
I would be
it's
interested to follow that one.
a lot of Western I find a lot of Western comics and like some of the fans and stuff, they're really spoiled from the early '90s.
Yeah.
They're people like Jim Lee and stuff like that. They just could bang out amazing art all the
Mhm.
time. There's a few of them out there, and to my understanding, is the in the mainstream comic book industry, they really didn't foster and try to train up seek out new talent. It
Sure.
sounds to me like it's one of those things where the existing talent that is in places of power gets worried about the new uprising someone that's really good, and they don't want to like extra promote them because that's a threat to their job. Someone else comes in to take the limelight, and so we're left now with a lot of bad artists. And it shows, especially if you try to do art that is more realistic, because you'll see
Mhm.
from panel to panel, people don't look the same, because it's hard to
Right.
draw a realistic person the same every time. Well,
Right.
I mean, not only can you do something that is fun, it feels really alive, but you can have that consistency in artwork. When you do something that's a little more out there, a little more, um, a little more artistic flair to it, and not so much
Mhm.
attempting reality. So,
Right.
um, help yourself out, new artists, and find a style. Find a look that you know you can really express emotion with, and don't worry about the realism so much.